Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to Mr. Moore Podcast. We got a special guest in the building, Miss Shaunna. I can't say her last name.
Goodwin-Watkins.
There we go. I didn't want to butcher it and whatnot.
Goodwin-Watkins.
So how you doing today?
I'm great.
Good. So I know you got a story to tell that you want to get out or whatnot.
Right,
and
big story.
Yeah, so why don't you go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Okay, my name is Shaunna Goodwin, and I am a mother of a murdered child. My son was murdered in 2006, but my journey back to sanity and to life is a story within itself.
Okay.
But I know that people need to be healed. Everybody doesn't get the chance to come back. So that's why I'm here, to help you.
Okay. That's interesting. I know I don't have a story like your story, but you know I got some people that passed away in my family, some brothers, mother, father. You think you can get over stuff like that, but you never get over it.
No,
because once someone leaves you, they're dear to you, it's a void, you know, that's gone forever. And it's irreplaceable. So
yes.
how you been dealing with it, and how did that affect your life when it happened, at the time when it happened?
Oh my goodness. It was like my life just went on a downward spiral. Within 30 days I had lost my son, my home, my car, and my job. Everything was gone in 30 days.
In 30 days?
30 days. It took 30 days.
A lot of people wouldn't even made it through that right
Ooh-wee.
See, but you still here, and you got a story to tell, and your son is still living through you.
Yes.
By your strength or whatnot.
Yes.
And by the story that you're going to tell today.
Right. Right. Yes, most definitely he's going to live. He lives as long as I breathe. He lives. So I have a lot to say. And there are a lot of things that we need to know as women. And because when we have severe trauma like this, we turn to drugs and alcohol and suicide.
Yes.
And some of us just grieve ourselves to death.
That's true.
But I just want to prove that God is about His promises. He keeps His promises to His children. But you have to trust the process. You have to trust the process. And there's nothing too big for God. Nothing.
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. The way He saved my life. Remarkable. Remarkable.
So you want to talk about? I see the beautiful picture of your son right there.
This is my son. Yeah. This is Lamont Goodwin II. My firstborn son. I don't know where to start with him.
You want to talk about some of the things that he liked to do while he was here? Some of the hobbies that he loved to do while he was here?
He loved to rap. Rapping was his thing. He loved family gatherings like Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter, because Easter was around his birthday, and sometimes Easter fell on his birthday, so he got extra stuff. But he loved his family more than anything. And so that's what keeps me, is because of his love for us that I can keep going. And you know, just like I said, just trust the process, because it is a process.
Yes, it is.
And even a lot of us mothers, people tell you, oh, you didn't see that, you didn't hear that, that didn't happen. Don't let people tell you about what you have seen and what you have heard from the Lord. Don't let people put in your mouth that these things cannot happen. Because if you hear your child, then you hear your child. If you saw your child in the shadow, you saw your child. Because there are certain bonds that cannot be broken. That's one.
Yeah.
That's one.
Most definitely. I used to, a little bit after my mom passed, she came to me in a couple of dreams, and it was amazing because I guess she was just letting me know she was alright. You know, and the dream kind of felt like I traveled back in time and I was with her at that point. Some of the strongest dreams I ever had in my life, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. And I was like, you know, what is she trying to tell me, or what God trying to tell me what this is all about? But I think she was just letting me know that everything's gonna be all right. You know, she's over at the other side and she's waiting.
Yep, he's over on the other side and he's waiting, and he's gonna meet me when I get there. That's how I see it. You know, he'll be at the gate, probably running in front of everybody. That's the way I see it.
Greeting you soon as you get over
his
there.
mama, yes. Yes. So, but Eric, even in his life, he was an inspiration to me because he always seemed to take problems and make it into victory. You know, a year before he was killed, he was shot in the back in a drive-by shooting. They weren't even shooting at him, and he had to learn how to walk again. And in that experience, and it was not just a physical walk. He had a walk with God. So in his mind, he had to get it together. Like, there's nothing that can keep me down. And so within 30 days, we were walking out of that hospital, and I told him when we went in, we gonna walk out of here. And we walk, whether it's with a cane or a walker, we're gonna walk out of here, son. And that's exactly what we did. And I owe God for all of that, because I feel like if he hadn't showed me what he could do, then I probably wouldn't have believed what he could do now.
True.
So I know it's God. I know that nobody else saved me from myself but God. Nobody else.
True. And sometimes we question God and try to figure out why these things happen in our life. Because I think about, you know, I ain't trying to compare the situations or whatnot or with your son, but I know my son with the brain tumors and everything, with the brain surgeries that he had, and the 3 strokes that he had after he had the brain surgery, had to learn how to walk, talk again, and now he's having seizures or whatnot. So now he gotta, they talk about having another brain surgery, and my son don't want to do it. You know, I talk to him like maybe 4 or 5 times a day. He don't want to do it because that's another brain surgery that might go wrong. This will be his, I think, 4th one right now. The first one, they went in to try to figure out what was going on. They found out what was in there, and Children's Mercy was like, okay, we can't do nothing else for him. And then after that, one of the doctors wanted to try a medicine that was never really tried over here in the United States, but they tried it somewhere else and it had good results. And there was another brain surgery where they put this thing inside of his brain to try to shrink the tumor. That didn't work. Because he had extreme pain after that. His headaches was even worse after that treatment. And then again, they talk about they couldn't do nothing. So St. Jude or whatnot ended up getting in contact, or I think they had a big meeting down here. I think they have a big meeting every year at some of the hospitals. All the people fly over or fly in, they meet, take on cases or whatnot. And that's how he ended up getting out there to St. Jude and having that surgery. But you know, sometimes I don't ever question God, but sometimes I wonder why. You know.
You know, my god brother told me when my son first died that it's okay to question God, because he wants to hear from you. He wants to answer your questions. He wants you to ask. And I also have come to learn that all of my questions won't be answered. And I call that my by and by stage, when I realize that some answers are just going to come by and by. And why not me?